You are, in a virtual space, I think it still feels that you are sort of missing the oxygen and you need
Yeah.
to dive outside of the water. by Marion.